In a busy office on the top floor of a glass and steel tower, there was a young woman named Clara who was known for her unassuming demeanor and modest dress. She had a quiet presence, always wearing simple clothes that seemed to match her humble personality. To the staff, Clara was just another junior employee, a soft-spoken, unremarkable young woman who often sat alone at her desk, quietly typing away or sipping her coffee. But what they didn't know was that Clara was not just another office worker. She was, in fact, the CEO of the entire company, the very same company they worked for. Clara had always believed in the value of humility, and she wanted to experience the real dynamics of her business from the ground up, without the bias of her position clouding her judgment. So, she decided to spend a few weeks working anonymously among the employees. She wanted to see how they treated her when they thought she was just another cog in the machine, not realizing that she was the one who controlled the gears. At first, everything seemed normal. She worked diligently, keeping her head down, doing tasks others might consider menial. She noticed the little things, the gossip around the office, the snide comments made about the higher-ups, and the lack of respect some of her colleagues showed for one another. It seemed that, in the world of corporate politics, kindness was often an afterthought. However, as time passed, Clara began to feel the sting of being looked down upon. Her coworkers would pass by her desk without a word, sometimes sneering at her work or dismissing her contributions. They took advantage of her quiet nature, delegating the tasks they didn't want to do to her, believing she was too meek to speak up. The senior staff frequently ignored her, passing over her in meetings, assuming she was just an entry-level employee with no real authority. They mocked her behind her back, calling her the invisible girl or the office mouse. Then, one afternoon, everything changed. Claire was sitting at her desk, reviewing some company financial reports on her laptop when her phone buzzed. It was a message from her assistant, Michael. "The board meeting is in an hour. The execs are already arriving," the message read. Clara felt a small smile tug at her lips. She had planned this for weeks. She stood up, adjusting her plain sweater and slipping on her shoes, then walked towards the conference room. As she passed the glass doors to the executive suite, her employees who were milling about outside didn't give her a second glance. They were too busy talking about how lucky Clara was to be working at such a big company, even if she was stuck in a low-level position. Clara entered the conference room and closed the door behind her. The executives, including the senior managers and directors, were gathered around the long table. They were talking animatedly, unaware of her arrival. When they saw her, their chatter died down. "Clara," one of the senior managers, Henry, said with a dismissive chuckle, "you made it just in time, but I think you're in the wrong meeting. You're supposed to be working on the admin reports, remember?" Clara smiled, her calm gaze sweeping across the room. "Actually, Henry," she said, her voice cool and steady, "I'm here because I'm the one calling the meeting." The room fell silent. The senior executives exchanged confused looks, unsure if Clara was joking. "What?" Henry started, but Clara cut him off. "I am Clara Whitfield, the CEO of this company, and I've been working among you all these past few weeks. Observing," she said, her eyes cold with quiet authority. "I've seen how some of you have treated me, and now I'm going to show you just how much I've been paying attention." The room was still for a moment, the weight of her words hanging in the air. Then, as if on cue, Clara's assistant, Michael, stepped into the room holding a folder. He placed it in front of her, and Clara opened it, revealing a list of names. Everyone who had worked in the office, from the junior staff to the senior management team. "I've reviewed all of your performance over the past several months," Clara said, scanning the room, "and I've come to a decision." One by one, she called out each of their names, and in a calm, measured voice, she informed them they were being let go. The excuses were the same: failure to meet expectations, disrespect to others, and, most importantly, a lack of integrity. Some of the executives looked furious, others were speechless, and a few were on the verge of panic. "You can't do this," one of them protested. "We're the backbone of this company." Clara didn't flinch. "No, you were the people who made it hard for the company to thrive. A leader leads with respect, not arrogance. And those of you who have belittled your coworkers, ignored their potential, or taken advantage of the system, well, you're no longer needed here." The firing process took a little over.